I'm no better than you. You're no better than me. It's so easy for us to allow our ego to judge others. And for me, I'm personally a very logical, analytical person. So much so to my own detriment at times, but I've worked through that. But when it comes to accepting others, it's funny because we hear these things all the time, right? Like, you can only love yourself as much as you're willing to love others. You can only, if you're judging yourself, you're judging others. And I feel like I'm repeating. I probably said this in another video. But it's so true. And the fact of the matter is, like, for me, logically, to think about this, like, when you think back to, or not back to, y'all are, I don't know what you guys is, whatever. When you think about the whole, what is it, nature versus nurture debate, right? It's like the consensus always goes back to it's both. It's both. And so it's so easy for us to look at something horrible someone does, and think to ourselves and like tell our friends, like, oh my God, I could never do that. Like, how can someone do that? I could never do that. Like, that's just so messed up. How could they do that? And we're judging the person for whatever it is they did. Right? Which is easy to do. We all fall prey to that and get into that. But the fact of the matter is, nature and nurture are what create a person, right? So our genetic makeup, our DNA, and all of our life experiences, right down to our where we're living geographically, who we associate with, who's in our inner circle, the type of parents we had, and how our parents interacted with us, the friend groups we were part of, the extracurricular activities we took part, like all these different things, every last conversation we had, all goes into making a human, right? And how they show up in this world. And if you want to go into like past lives as well, we're not going to get into that. So it's just so arrogant, in a sense, for us to ever judge someone else, because it's, you would do the same thing. Those horrible things that you're judging them for, you would make the same exact choices and decisions that they have. If you, from point A to point B, walk a mile in their shoes, but I'm talking about the whole thing, the whole shebang, not just a mile, you walk their entire life in their shoes up until the point in which they made the decisions that you're judging them on, I guarantee you, you would also make those same freaking choices and decisions. People aren't just born, me and one of my coworkers were having this discussion, it's like babies aren't born evil. People aren't just innately born bad and to like make these different bad choices and decisions. It's not just in them, it's created. That version of them is created by way of nature and nurture. And I'm not just talking about like, if you go back, like I'm talking about you have their same exact genetic makeup, right? And this is where we'll get maybe a little too spiritual for some folks. I have no idea who's going to be following this channel. But if you were to go and walk from point A to point B in their shoes from birth to the moment they made those same choices and decisions that you are judging, you would also make those decisions and choices. You had their parents, right? Not just a version of their parents, because you got to have the full experience. It can't just be someone kind of like their parents. You got to have the exact same everything that they have, right? Everything. And then you would also make the same choices and decisions. And it becomes so easy to judge others when the reality is we are all one. We are all the same when it comes down to it. We are all one. And if we're judging others, even in little ways, particularly with the little ways, right? If you're judging someone's outfit or someone showing up late for work, or their food choices, like their lack, whatever it might be, right? If we're judging people in these little ways, as we often do as humans, that human side, we're just judging ourselves, because there's something within us that we're still rejecting, something we don't like, something derived from our shadow that we're unwilling to accept. And because we're unwilling to accept it in ourselves, how in the heck are we expected to accept it in someone else if we won't even accept it within ourselves? If we can't fully embody that self-love within ourselves, you're not going to be able to accept others as they are and as they come. You're going to be judging them because you judge yourself. Like, that's what that means. Which is really just sad, because we all deserved love and respect, and we're all worthy, and we should all love ourselves fully and completely. But trust me, it's not an easy journey at all by any means. It's honestly one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life up until this point. And it's something that takes continuous practice, and something you are being consciously aware of moment to moment. Because you have to rewire your brain, you know what I'm saying? To some degree. I think the other part's more of our divine side, but you have to rewire your brain. That's what it comes down to. CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, right? That's like what cognitive behavioral therapy is. It's rewiring these brain circuits in your brain. These old patterns and ways of thinking. That's why people do affirmations. It's just like, it's a constant stimulus that's coming in, telling your brain, like, okay, I am brave, I am worthy, I am brave, I am worthy, I am brave, I am worthy, you know? And it's just, you do that long enough, but it's not enough to just say it, right? Or say these certain things. It's like, you really have to embody it. And there's a huge difference between knowing something and actually embodying it in your day-to-day, right? One of the big things for me was, I was like, in my last relationship, I'll share that at some point, but it occurred to me, I'm like, you know what? Like, I deserve more than this. I deserve more. Like, I'm just worthy of more than what I'm getting out of this relationship. I deserve to be treated better. I deserve more. Right? So that's a knowing. It's a knowing. It's intellectualizing it. Because it's just like, well, yeah, of course, like, I deserve more than this. But there's a big difference between knowing something and actually believing it truly, deeply, in your being, in your heart, in your soul, believing it, believing you are worth more, embodying that belief, not just knowing it and intellectualizing it. Because that's easy to do. It's just like, well, yeah, you deserve more. It's like the same way that oftentimes, right, when stuff happens in relationships, we're so quick to tell others that how they should respond and that they deserve better. Like, oh, he did that to you, like, leave his ass. Like, you need to leave him. You deserve way better than that. Like, no second chances. But then when you're put in that situation, suddenly you're seeing things a little differently. Suddenly it's more difficult. And the reason why is because when it's outside of yourself, it's easy. But when you have to go within, that's a little more challenging. And it all comes down to self-love. Truly, deeply. And I'll go into what that truly looks like and means soon. Okay, have a great day, you guys. I love you.